Hello students, I hope you will be fit and fine at your home. Today in this module I will discuss about conservative and non-conservative forces and energy. First I will discuss conservative force. A force is said to be conservative if the work done by the force in moving a body depends upon initial and final position only and does not depend upon the path followed by the body. I repeat, a force is said to be conservative force if the work done in moving the body by the force is depending upon the initial and final positions and is independent of the path followed by the moving body. Now, examples are gravitational force, electrostatic force, and magnetic force. Now, to make you understand the concept of conservative force, I will give you the example of see, body starts moving upward here following this staircase. This is, and reaches up to this point A to B. So the total height gained by the body, this is 1 meter if we consider each step of 10 centimeter. Now, work done by the gravity, in this case, you see, against the gravity work has to be done. Clear? If you consider the work done, then along this, since gravity acts vertically downward, so along this work done will be 0, along this will be 0. Now total height 1 meter, so work done will be mgh. Now let the mass of the body is 1 kg and g as 9.8 meter per second square, then 1 into 9.8 into 1. So 9.8 joule is the work done. Now either you follow this path or you raise the body directly suppose using lift, then irrespective of the path followed, the work done remains same, 9.8 joule. So in this condition, work done is independent of the path followed. Either you go directly up following this path or you reach from this path. In the vertical direction, height gained is 1 meter. Here you are reaching directly up 1 meter, and here you are using the staircase. Each step is 10 centimeter high. We are having 10 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the height gained is 1 meter in this case also. In both the condition, either you follow this staircase or you use the lift, the height gained is 1 meter and therefore work done is independent of the path, it is 9.8 joule. So such forces, work done by which in moving a body is independent of the path and depends upon only the initial and final position, is called conservative force. Now, next, non-conservative force. If work done by the force is independent of the path and depends upon initial and final position only, then the force is called conservative. But a force is said to be non-conservative if the work done by the force in moving a body also depends upon the path, then the force is called non-conservative force. I repeat, a force is said to be non-conservative if the work done by the force in moving a body not only depends upon the initial and final positions of the body but also depends upon the path followed between the initial and final positions. Now the question is example of non-conservative force. Frictional force. Frictional force. Suppose this is a straight line path, a body is moving from A to B. Clear? Now, another body is reaching by this two ways are there, first, second. Now naturally, if body is following this path, though the initial and final positions are same, but since the length of the path covered along this second path is more, so frictional force will have to do more work. Therefore, the work done is also depending upon the path. More energy will be consumed along this path. So, such force in which work done depends upon not only the initial and final positions but also on the path followed, then the force is called non-conservative force. Next, energy. Energy of a body is defined by its capacity to do work. Energy is always measured in terms of work done. There are different kinds of different forms of energies. Today I will discuss about kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. The energy of a body, because of its motion, or you can say the energy of a moving body, is called kinetic energy. Formula of kinetic energy is K equals to half mv square, where K is the kinetic energy. Now, derivation of the formula. I will explain you its derivation by two methods. One without integration, second by using integration. So, derivation. Let us consider a body of mass m is initially at rest. When a force is applied on a body, then acceleration A is produced and it covers a distance s up and gains the final velocity v. F is the applied force. Now kinetic energy equals to work done, and work done is equals to force into displacement. If you consider the scalar product, this is F dot S. Since the body is moving in the direction of force applied, so velocity and acceleration both are in the same direction. So this will be Fs cos 0. So this is Fs. Now by Newton's second law of motion, F equals to ma. So I can write MAS. This is first equation. By third equation of motion, V square equals to U square plus 2AS. V square final velocity is 0 square. Final velocity is V square. U is initial velocity is 0, so 0 square plus 2AS. This implies that V square equals to 2AS. From here, we get the value of AS as V square upon 2. This is second. Now from first and second, kinetic energy equals to, first is MAS, and the value of AS is V square upon 2. So this is half MV square. This is the derivation, and if you recall, this derivation has been explained to you in class 9th. You have already learnt that in class 9th. What we have to do, we will consider a body of mass m. Let the force applicable is F. Because of this force, if the body initially at rest, an acceleration A is produced. Due to this acceleration, the body will move. Let after covering a distance s, its velocity becomes v. So u is the initial velocity, v is the final velocity. Now kinetic energy, as we discussed, that capacity to do work is called energy. So kinetic energy is the energy of a body because of its motion, and will be measured by work done in making the body move. So Fs, if you take the scalar product, work as the scalar product, so this is F dot S, vector F dot S. Now it is Fs cos, since the body is moving along a straight line path, therefore the direction of acceleration and velocity both are same. Force and displacement are same. Here theta is the angle between force and displacement. Displacement is occurring in the direction of force, so angle is 0. So it is Fs. Now Newton's second law of motion says that F equals to ma, so ma into s. Now by applying third equation of motion, V square equals to U square plus 2s. V square is the final velocity, so V square, initial velocity is 0, so 0 square plus 2as. So from here we get the value of as as V square upon 2. On substituting, we get this formula: kinetic energy equals to half mv square. Now the same derivation we will do by the method of integration. Derivation by the method of integration. Now this you need to learn. Let us consider a force, variable force, is applicable on a body. And a small distance has been covered by the body. I am saying the small distance because for that distance I am assuming that force is constant. So, a small amount of work done dW equals to F dot ds. See, the situation is like this. This is the force. It is initially at rest. A force is applicable. This force is variable force, and as it goes on moving, force is also varying. It has reached up to here where the velocity becomes v. What we will do, we will divide this entire, since force is varying over this distance, so what we will do, we will consider this distance to be made up of small parts, and over one small part whose length is ds, let the force can be assumed as constant, means minor changes there. So in this particular distance or in this particular whatever you say, see, let the small amount of work done is dw. So the total work done in making the body move from this to this, means from the condition of rest to attaining the velocity v, the total work done, that will be the sum of these small amount of work done, and sum is integration in mathematics. Okay, so kinetic energy, this will be equal to work done, and work done will be integration of a small amount of all these works. Now, how this is varying? This is varying over this u, means from where to where we have to sum, from u equals to 0 to final velocity v. That is, simply you can write from 0 velocity sum over the situation when the velocity is 0 to attaining the velocity v. Now, this we will substitute the value 0 to v. In place of dw, we will write f into ds. Now, this f into ds, 0, this is the scalar product. By the definition of scalar product, f ds cos 0 this is. Cos 0 is because force and displacement both are in the same direction, so cos 0 is 1. So basically this is 0 to v f ds. Now further 0 to v f equals to ma, so this is ma into ds. Now this is 0 to v further m a. A is acceleration, and acceleration may be written as dv upon dt into ds. Rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. Now this may be written as 0 to v m into dv. Now ds upon dt, this will be written as ds upon dt. Means just I have rearranged that. Now this is 0 to v m. Now ds upon dt, rate of change of displacement is velocity, so it is mv dt. Now this further can be written as m integration over 0 to v dt. Now you have read this formula, x to the power n dx equals to x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. Suppose instead of this x variable is b, so b to the power n dv equals to b to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. Here the value of n is 1. You can compare. Here the power is 1. So what I will get? M 1 plus 1 v square upon 2, 0 to. Now on substituting the limits, m v is replaced by v, so same v square upon 2 minus 0 is v is replaced by 0, it is 0. So what I am getting? Half m v square. So this is the method of integration. I repeat, first we will calculate the small amount of work done in making the body move from a small distance ds. So dw equals to f dot ds. We will consider that entire distance has been made up of this kind of a small segment. So to calculate the kinetic energy, we will calculate the work done for the entire situation, means from rest to attaining the velocity v. That's why limits have put like 0 to v. So we will take the integration of this small amount of work done dw 0 to v. Now dw is, as you can see, f dot ds. F dot ds is f ds cos 0. 0 because force and displacement are in the same direction. Cos 0 is 1. So it is f ds. Now by Newton's second law, f equals to ma. So ma into ds. A is the rate of change of velocity. So it is dv upon dt. On rearranging, I am writing this m into dv, ds upon dt. ds upon dt is rate of change of displacement, and rate of change of displacement is velocity. So mv dv. Now m is constant, so it is taken out. Now 0 to v dv. Now this is the formula: integration of x to the power n dx equals to x to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. Now in place of x, if variable is v, then it will be modified to this: integration of v to the power n dv equals to v to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. This is all about. So here you can compare, it is v dv, so it means power is 1. So what you will get? V to the power 1 plus 1, that is v square upon 1 plus 1, 2. So this is v square upon 2. Now we will substitute the limits. Upper limit is v, so v is replaced by v, you will have the same, and v square upon 2 minus sign, then you will replace v square by 0. So 0 square upon 2 is 0. We are getting half mv square. Now next is work energy theorem. Work energy theorem. First we should learn the statement of work energy theorem. According to work energy theorem, the work done by a force in displacing a body is equal to the change in the kinetic energy of the body. I repeat, according to this theorem, the work done by a force in displacing a body is equal to the change in the kinetic energy of the body. Now we have to prove it. Proof. For the proof, we will consider a body whose initial velocity is u, and a variable force F is applicable over it, so that acceleration produced is a, and final velocity is v. Now you can see the displacement is in the direction of force. Now if you see kinetic energy, initial kinetic energy is half mu square. Final kinetic energy is half mv square. Then change in kinetic energy, let it be delta k. So this will be final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. This equals to half mv square minus half mu square. Half m is taken common, so v square minus v square. Now we have to show that this change in kinetic energy delta k is equals to work done. This we have to prove. So see the proof. As I told you that entire displacement will be divided in small parts, and first we will calculate the work done in a small part. Let this small displacement is ds. So small amount of work done is F dot ds. Since displacement is in the direction of force, so angle between force and displacement is 0. So it is F ds cos 0. Cos 0 is 1, so it is F ds. Now F, it is by Newton's second law, ma into ds. A can be written as dv upon dt into ds. On rearranging, m dv into ds upon dt. So this is m dv. ds upon dt is rate of displacement, which is velocity, into v. So on further rearranging, we can write this. Now we have to calculate the work done from this situation to that situation, entire. So total amount of work done, we will calculate the total work done, W. This equals to integration u to v dw. This is integration u to v. The value of dw, you can see it is mv dv, mv dv. So m is taken outside, u to v. This is v into dv. As we did in the previous article, integration of v dv will be v square upon 2, limits are v to u. Now on substituting limit, we will get v square upon 2 minus u square upon 2. Now limit substitution once again. This v will be replaced by this v. So we are getting v square upon 2, then minus sign, then v is replaced by u square upon 2. So this is mv square upon 2 minus mu square upon 2. So 1 by 2, m is taken common, v square minus u, or this is change in kinetic energy. So we have shown that the change in kinetic energy is equals to the work done. So once again I repeat the statement. It states that the work done by a force in displacing a body, work done by the force in displacing a body is equal to the change in the kinetic energy of the body. So this is the mathematical statement of work energy theorem. So keep on revising the articles, particularly try to do it by the method of integration. In the next module, I will discuss about potential energy. Till then, keep on solving, keep on practicing these derivations. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.